Alright, everybody, here is a trade recap from New Year's Eve, December 31st, 2019. This was a bad trade day overall for me, mainly due to undisciplinedness and not following my own personal rules. But let's get into it. I got kind of started, so let's see. I did 6 trades today. First trade, I go short here. Let's see why I go short. Alright, so it came down and it went up and came down and retraced, and I thought that momentum was shifting over. So let's see. I'm only in this trade for like a minute, so I don't like what I see. So as you can tell, it automatically goes against me, and I realize that it's probably just retracing and coming back up. So I'm pretty happy there that I didn't get filled right away. So I decided just to get out with the 2-tick loss, and I go back in about 5 minutes later. So it hovers around here. So let's see. So I decided to go long here. I went short. I got out with 2-tick loss, and then I thought that at this point that it kind of had stopped going down. That's a good sign right here. So I see that, and I get excited, which is rule number 1: don't let emotions play a role. So I'm in this trade for about 5 minutes. I get filled. See, it keeps going, so I want to get filled before I miss it. And so I get filled there. And see what happens. So yeah, it's kind of stopping where I got in. I see this. Looking back, it looks as if it just hit like some resistance. Or this is like the most traded place, You can tell right here, this is a big deal. I never noticed this before. It's failing to get past the level where the most amount of contracts have traded. And you see, and what I realized, there's not a lot of buyers hitting into the next price at the on the sale side. And then we have very little buying happening, a lot of selling into these two price levels down here. Numbers like this tend to be pretty, tend to be on the bigger side in terms of the Nasdaq. 49 contracts in these two markets is nothing. Well, here might be something solid, but here it's, nothing pretty essentially. So I'm in this trade for like another 2 minutes, and it chops around, and I don't see anything. I wish I did get this fixed right here. Okay, so you see that happens. They let the bind go up, and I get out, or at least I try to get out. I don't know what that was for. I'm not sure if I contemplated getting out and doing a reversal trade, which would have been smart, because I ended up losing money on this trade. Well, at least I think I do. Yeah, see, this is going up. This is staying stuck right where it is. Yeah, see, I get filled and disappointed, which made no sense. And so, yeah, it comes back down. Let's see what happens. And so, as my next trade, I go the other way. And this trade I'm in for about 10 minutes. So we're just going to fast forward this a little bit. So yeah, right away it goes against me. And it doesn't, almost fills me in there. Yeah, so it stays up here, goes against me. Should have gone along there. Like, this is literally, all that is just range play. That's what I call a range play. You just gotta see which two price levels are they bouncing it off at. So yeah. And I went long when I got short, and I went short when I should have gone long. So back into the trade, and it almost fills me in. And it comes back down, and that's when I decide just to get out within like 3 minutes of here. I end up getting out with a 2-tick loss on this one. So I'm really happy about that. I think at this point I'm just waiting it out, seeing if I can be a little bit more patient with the trade. But it comes back down. I don't see a lot of. There's not much hitting back in right now. There's not that many people on the bid. And just shot up to. Yeah, see, yeah, then it goes back towards me. And then I end up getting out with a 2-tick loss. I'm like, fuck this. I get out. And I get filled, luckily. Yeah, and I get out there with a 2-tick loss. I'm like, screw that. I'm out. And I get back in the trade. And like, all right, cool. I think I got this. And I go long, and then I actually lose money on this trade. This is when I should have stayed in my short position and just fucking stayed there. But but yeah, it was just confusing to read. It wasn't very readable. Kind of hard to tell where the next move was going to go. And this is as soon as I get in, I can just get fucked. What I need to do is just wait for some confirmation, just see if maybe there's a huge bid that prints up, or maybe there's like a leader trap that's happening, where they want to do like a long squeeze, where they try to squeeze out the long, squeeze out the long buyers. So I'm going short here. I think I cut the bottom of the range. I'm in this trade for about 3 minutes. And let me see, maybe one that right here I have one halves. Yeah, so you got 76 contracts, 22, 22, and short. Bam. There you go, see, bam. It was from what? It was from 111, and bam, see someone just drops like 150 contracts there. And then they see that size, people start hitting in, 582, there you go, see they're hitting about like 20 lots at a time. Buyers are matching, they're struggling here at this point. And bam. And that's when I probably should have gone out. And buyers trying to here, but the thing is like, buyers are matching in, the Nasdaq's continuing to creep up, I think this is one of the days where the Nasdaq and the E-mini were not exactly matching 100% at the time. And then there, so yeah, look, creeps up. It was creeping up, and then it starts to come down rapidly. Bam, bam, bam. So let's see, it dropped. It got as high as 2-6 evens. Yeah, so it was 2-6 evens, and then oh no, sorry, I went up higher. I went to 7.25. Yeah, it was 7.25, and then I see shots right back down. So 7.25 all the way down. 7.25 all the way down. That's a full 3 points right there. 3 points, and then 4 points. Went down 5 points, and bam, so he just goes down. And so that was just probably a Leo trap happening in one market, and it was being executed, and the end result was being executed in both. So that's how you pick up this clue right here. Okay. Yep, so not doing too good in the red there. And the next trade I go into is about 7 minutes later, 7:35. It's actually a winning tick. I go long here. I go short. Okay, I go short, thinking it was going to keep going back up. At this point, it had retraced a little bit. So it was down here. It got down to as far as, yeah, see, it got down to about 7.75, 7.5. So I went about to 7.5, and then it retraced. Yeah, it's retraced by a couple points, by a point or two. Yeah, so I go short, yeah. I'll let it play out. So let's see. So yeah, I'm in the trade. Then I go short. And just kind of staying where it is. And it goes. The good thing is, it doesn't really go against me. It went against me that one tick. But as you see here, the Nasdaq is dropping more and more. Yeah, so I'm in the money, and then I move my stop loss just to minimize my risk. And seeing how the Nasdaq has dropped a few points, so from when I entered, right there at 9/2, and the Nasdaq's currently at 1.5, 1 3/4, and it just plummets. So I'm in the trade, keeps going down. And here I get a little worried because I feel like I'm not going to get as much as I want. But I got to realize that not losing money in a trade is a good trade. So yeah, I get out of the trade in just a minute here. Yeah, I get out of the trade pretty soon here. Yeah, I get out with eight tick winner, which is solid. And then I finish off with one more bad trade. I lose that in this trade. Trade was short. And it does not end up working out. And it goes long. And yeah, that's about it. So yeah, guys, let's get out of that trade with the losing one. Yeah, I just caught the last of the whiplash. So I'm kind of rushing through this last one because I gotta go to work at 9:30. But I end up losing 8 ticks. I get out of this stop loss and yeah, ended my day with -20. Alright guys, let me know if you have any questions, comments, subscribe, share. All your inputs appreciated, suggestions, comments, whatever. I'll take it all, the good with the bad. Thanks.